What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue. This week's episode is going to be rather interesting, because for today's video, YCS Las Vegas has been cancelled. Surprise? I think not. So now the question remains, what happens next? You guys remember, I think last week's episode, I talked about, as I go onto my Fire Stick, or actually rather 2 weeks ago, I talked about YCS Pasadena being canceled, that would have been the first in-person YCS that we've had since YCS Vegas in 2020, which was the last one before the pandemic started. But since that weekend, we've had a bunch of Remote Duel YCSs, and this one is no different. So Konami made the announcement that they were going to cancel YCS Las Vegas, and they were going to host a remote duel in the same weekend. And this was the official statement, and this is actually off of YG organization, so big shout outs to them. But they've had multiple they've got multiple sources, so big shouts to them. This is off of their Twitter, Facebook, all over the place. The caption is saying, "Look, want this to be dealt with? Get your shots. Socially distance. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands and wear a mask." So this is the official the official statement for YCS Las Vegas. The full statement is quote to the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG community, as we monitor the pandemic, and you know what, I might as well just say it. I know I shouldn't say it, but it's the official statement, so I have to. As we monitor COVID-19 pandemic developments, we continue to take seriously the guidelines and recommendations from the government health authorities and experts, including recent data from the CDC listing the risk level of COVID-19 as high for Clark County in Nevada. Given the continued uncertainty surrounding the Omicron variant, and in recognizing our own responsibility to prioritize the health and safety of our entire Yu-Gi-Oh TCG community, we have made the difficult decision to cancel the in-person Yu-Gi-Oh YCS event in Las Vegas, Nevada on February 26th and 27th. In lieu of the in-person event, we will host an online Remote Duel Tournament during the same weekend. The Remote Duel YCS will be open to all duels in North America, including those that were not able to pre-register for YCS Las Vegas. In addition, regional qualifiers for the Battle of Chaos season will be offered only as Remote Duel events for the month of February. As the Battle of Chaos regional season extends through May, we are hopeful that we can offer in-person regional qualifiers later in the season. We will continue to monitor the guidelines set forth by local health authorities and provide updates as necessary. We apologize if this has caused any inconvenience to those who may be affected as a result. Refunds for the entry fee will be made available for any registered Yu-Gi-Oh TCG duelists who do not choose to attend the alternate online Remote Duel YCS event. These refunds will be automatically performed after the YCS event. If you have any questions regarding registering the Remote Duel YCS or your refund for YCS Las Vegas, there's a contact that they can talk to. Not gonna reveal. Don't wanna don't want to get copyrighted. Y'all know how this works with the algorithm. Please note that even if you register for YCS Las Vegas, you will need to register. You will need to register again for the Remote Duel YCS if you would like to participate in that. In addition, all duels that register for YCS Las Vegas will be offered priority registration for an upcoming YCS event. For future events on our schedule, we remain committed to monitoring the developments daily and will provide updates on those events as they become available. Please continue to visit our official Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG website and official social media channels on Twitter and Facebook for the latest news and updates. Yeah, that was the official statement, but so I can't say that I'm surprised, honestly. With how bad it's been the last few months, it doesn't really surprise me because right now we're now done with YCS, with what was supposed to have been YCS Pasadena. Now with Vegas coming up, or I guess now with this Remote Duel coming up, the question remains: what happens next? What decks are going to be in the February 2022 form, or I guess the February-March 2022 format, and could we potentially see an emergency ban list? So we were supposed to have gotten the ban list like forever ago, but we never got it, to be honest. We never got the ban list. We're still waiting, of course. They said no sooner than January 17th, and this is the updated ban list as of now until we get the new ban list. So, Zodiac Barrage banned, Eva limited to 1, Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo limited to 1, Fire Formation Tenki limited to 1, Danger Nessie semi-limited to 2. Skullcrab Joker, limited to 2. Emergency Teleport, semi-limited to 2. And Emergency Teleport, semi-limited to 2. And Double Iris Magician, back up at 3. I did do a ban list prediction video, so if you guys want to check that out, you guys can definitely check it out. It was quite the interesting prediction video, to say the very least. But I think, honestly, now, as we move out of this YCS and move into the next one, actually, I want to look something up really quickly. I actually want to see about something really quickly. Meta-analysis January 2022. I think as of now we're at a point where where Shadal Invoked is still pretty decent. I know that it's not as powerful as it was in last year, but even I have to admit it's pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. So we're now in an era of Yu-Gi-Oh where Shadal Invoked is still pretty good. PK Femtonite DPE is still pretty busted. There's a lot of decks that are still broken in the meta. And funny enough, there was a guy in the Remote Duel YCS from this past weekend. There was a guy who was dueling with sleeves from Among Us, and I guess from what I remember, they disqualified him for not changing his sleeves, and he actually refused. So I mean, it just proves that he was gonna cheat. So that's just my opinion. I feel like he was gonna cheat. But But right now we're still, let's see, what other decks are still in the meta? Luralists are still pretty busted. I don't know how. Sword Souls are still pretty busted. In fact, we're supposed to be getting new support for them. I think in the next set, in the next core set after Dimension Force, I don't know what they're gonna call it, but hopefully we get some new Red Dragon Archfiend support. Who knows? But only time will tell. I know that we're getting Red Dragon Archfiend as a ghost in Ghost from the Past 2, so that'll be pretty interesting. But honestly, I can't say that I'm surprised that YCS Vegas got canceled because of the pandemic, but even you guys have to admit there are people in the world that don't give a damn, and they want, the whole world to crumble, apparently. So that just proves that we have a bunch of haters in the world, which does not surprise me. But I know you guys care for Yu-Gi-Oh as much as I do, so make sure you guys do get your shots. Stay 6 feet apart. Wash your hands. Sanitize. All of that, and maybe in the next YCS we could potentially have an in-person event. I might show up. Who the hell knows? But honestly, But to be honest, I'm excited for this upcoming YCS because we could potentially see decks that we never thought we would ever see back in the format. We could see Blue Eyes back in the format. With Battle of Chaos coming out, there's new Blue Eye support for them. And there's new Blue Eye support such as Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. We're finally getting Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, which was the card that was used by Kaiba in the Waking the Dragons arc. So that's awesome. We're getting new Dark Magician support, so we could potentially see Dark Magician come back into the fold. Maybe even older decks that we never thought possible. Black Wings maybe. But I'm gonna be honest, I think we're gonna probably see the same meta over, again. Which really would not surprise me. But as of now, also Tribute Valiants are actually starting to become pretty meta. They're starting to become meta for some odd reason, and there's a deck on YGOProDeck.com. Big shoutouts to them, of course. No copyrights. Where there's a Valiants deck that uses up funny enough, Magician Souls, which is just absolutely stupid. So big shoutouts to the person who built the deck. I don't know who did. But the deck is as follows. Actually, I want to try and... Okay, so apparently the deck is as follows. So apparently the deck is consisting of cards like Magician Souls, the Fusion, even also the DPE engine, which is pretty nuts. Honestly, I don't know. It's just weird. Valiance is kind of a weird one. It's a weird pendulum deck because it's the fact, and this was something that I had talked about when I was talking about the archetype in my video from last week or something like that. I talked about how it can miss timing, and even now I still believe it. The deck could still miss timing, which is pretty nuts. But even I have to admit it's kind of an interesting deck. So we could see Valiance come into the fold, which is very possible. But only time will tell. But honestly, I don't have anything. I don't have a whole lot to say about this topic except that I'm not surprised. In fact, honestly, I don't think we're ever gonna get an in-person YCS regionals, world, nationals. I don't even think we're gonna get one at all this year, because there are people in the world that don't give a damn, and they're just like, whatever, man. You know what? Let the world crumble. That's those people. Sorry, guys. I thought I heard something. Those people are the ones that really don't give a damn. So, but I know, but it's, as I said before, I know you guys care a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh just as much as I do. So make sure you guys stay socially distanced, keep your distance, stay 6 feet apart, wash your hands, all that, get your shots, because I actually have to get my booster really soon. So hopefully, sometime next week, I will definitely be getting my booster, but that brings me to the question of the day. What decks do you think are going to be in the upcoming YCS? Let me know in the comments below, and that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys want to see more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, which get posted every Friday. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. All the links will be down in the description below. And if you guys have any fan mail you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my address will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.